She won in Lausanne as well this year with 10.93. She's in wonderful form. Surely a strong favourite here. Ashley Henderson was second in the US Championships. Was sixth in the NCAA's over 200. She is strong, this athlete. Relatively inexperienced at international level. Bianca Williams, World Commonwealth bronze medalist back in Glasgow in 2014 at 200. Sixth in the Commonwealth Games last March. Second in the UK Championships over 200. That's a better event. A couple of weeks back. Ombissa Zango of France, Mediterranean Games champion just a couple of weeks ago in Tarragona in Spain. Second in the French Championship. She's a late replacement, by the way, for Carole Zai of France. Wai Yongli of China, semi-finalist, the world indoors over 60 metres a couple of years back. She's a very quick starter. Watch her in lane 6. Karina Horn, the South African team captain, can she lead by example? Has set a national record this year. At the age of 29, she has gone under 11 seconds for the first time. 10.98 makes her very, very strong indeed. And you can tell that from her build. Eva Swoboda of Poland completes the lineup in lane 8 there. Bronze medalist in European indoors last year, semi-finalist in Rio. She's an 11-1 athlete at her best, although she hasn't been down to that this season yet. Well, we talked about how little room there is for error in the sprint hurdles. So technically demanding. Well, so is the 100 in its own way. Those ears straining for the starter's gun. And very little room for error at the start. A full start would result in disqualification. A bad start, well, he virtually give away the race. Quai of Germany in 1. Elaine Thompson, the Olympic champion from Rio, goes in lane 2. Ashley Henderson of the USA 3. Bianca Williams of Great Britain in 4. Then in lane 5, Ombissa Zango of France. Wai of China 6. Karina Horn there, second away from the camera of South Africa in 7. And Swoboda of Poland in lane 8. Away this time, really good start there from Bianca Williams, but going strongly now is Ashley Henderson. Where is Thompson? Thompson might get beaten here. Henderson's going brilliant. She is going to be the Olympic champion. Yes, she is on the dip. Very tight for third place. I think it might have been Karina Horn, or was it Bianca Williams of Great Britain? Boy, oh boy, that is an upset. Perhaps one of the biggest upsets of the day so far. Ashley Henderson of the USA takes that one. She was second in the US Championship. She has run 10.96 this year. Thompson 10.93, so on paper they look evenly matched, but I would have put my money on Thompson for that one. I don't know about you, Catherine Merry. 11.07, the official winning time, with 0 wind for Henderson, but there was very little in it. 11.07 to 11.09. She defeats the Olympic champion, and maximum points for the USA.
Yeah, world ranking wise, Ashley Henderson sits 1 place below Elaine Thompson, who's the world number 6 this year. But that was a good run by the American. Keep an eye on her. Elaine number 3, she got a good start, as did Williams of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. But what Elaine Thompson has got sometimes and hasn't got at others is that gear change now at 60 metres. She didn't have it here today. She wasn't going to catch Henderson. And again, for me, Elaine Thompson's one of those athletes that she's going to come out and run 10.8, or she's going to come out and just run under 11 seconds. It doesn't sound like a big difference, but that's what wins races and what comes second and third. You remember Elaine Thompson at the World Championships last year, Tim? 10.8 in her semi-finals. Easy as you like. Came to the final and came 5th. That's a big win for the American there, and a good win as well, and good points.
It is. You know what? The USA hadn't won an event all night until about 15 minutes ago. Then they win 2 in a row on the track. The men's 800 through...
First to walk out onto the track, ran 10.78 recently, but was with a plus 3.1 wind. Dina Asher-Smith will be in lane 2, the former world champion at 200 meters, now based in Austin in Texas. TT Terry. A little training group going to walk out next between 3, 4 and 5, and 3 of the quickest women in the world. We do have the 3, though, Olympic medalists, including Melissa Jefferson-Wooden. Melissa Jefferson, as she was then, she got married in March. Then the Olympic champion, Julien Alfred, will be in lane 5 from St. Lucia. And it's great to see Sha'Carri Richardson back. She had injury problems all the indoor season. Hasn't divulged too much about it. It was back in February, she said. Has only had 1 race, which was a pretty sedentary affair. And then Tina Clayton and her twin sister, Tia Clayton, have been ripping it up for Jamaica. The 20-year-old did beat her sister at the National Championships just recently in 10.81. And then you've got the experience of Marie-Josée Tallou-Smith from Ivory Coast, still running very well indeed. In lane 9, Maya McCoy, who's thrust herself onto the world stage this year, had looked as though she might take up the opportunity to run for Liberia, but has come back, given that she's running so well, to say, USA is the flag I run under. So TT Terry, Jefferson-Wooden, Richardson, friends, training partners. In fact, TT Terry was bridesmaid at Jefferson-Wooden's wedding earlier on this year, but in those middle lanes, 3, 4, 5 and 6, you throw in Tina Clayton as well. Julien Alfred knows, although she's in brilliant form, the Olympic champion, she has a bit, well, she said she has a bit of a love-hate relationship with this track in Eugene. Last time she was here, she was disqualified at the World Championships, but she did win the NCAAs here earlier that year. So the Olympic champion in the yellow in lane 5, Richardson in 6, but watch out for Jefferson-Wooden in 4 and Terry in 3. Jefferson-Wooden gets out sharper than Alfred. Richardson gets left a little bit. Clayton trying to get into it, but the Olympic champion just trying to get ahead, but Jefferson-Wooden is hanging on at the moment. The American has got it, and look at the time, 10:75. Jefferson-Wooden continues what's been a scintillating year for her. Beats the Olympic champion, who herself is at the top of her game. That is a big, big win. Jefferson-Wooden, yes, she says. Great race between the two of them. We thought they'd be a little bit ahead of everybody else. Richardson way down as we might have expected. However, these two surely this year have to be the two to beat. Jefferson-Wooden 75-77 for Alfred, just 200ths behind, and the wind is legal. Actually, no, Tim, into a headwind.
Minus 1.5, 10.75. What would it have been if we'd turned that wind around? Brilliant start from Jefferson-Wooden there. 4 from top, and then Alfred came back, and Alfred I thought was easing past at mid-race. You don't often see a comeback like that through the second half from the early leader, but she found new speed in the second half, Jefferson-Wooden. She dug so deep to take that win, Steve. I really thought up to 60 metres, Alfred in the yellow, so powerful, accelerated between 20 and 50. I thought she'd got it. She went past Jefferson-Wooden. She led at about halfway. Jefferson-Wooden came back at her, and that is so rare in a 100.
Yeah, a bit unlucky there, aren't we? Like you said, I was watching that replay halfway down the home straight. The clock's up minus 1.5. Yet the flags don't look like it's going in that way. So that's a little bit unfortunate. That could have been something incredibly.
The women's 100 meters continues to prove that sprinting is defined by fine margins, contrasting race models, and moments where reputation alone is not enough. 2 races in particular highlight this reality. Ashley Henderson's shock victory over Elaine Thompson-Herah and Melissa Jefferson-Wooden's statement win against Sha'Carri Richardson and Julien Alfred at the 2025 Prefontaine Classic. Together, they reveal how the balance of power in women's sprinting is shifting from dominance to depth. In the first race, Ashley Henderson entered as an underdog against Olympic champion Elaine Thompson-Herah. Thompson-Herah arrived as the clear favorite, fresh off National and Diamond League victories, and widely expected to impose herself with her trademark late-race acceleration. On paper, the matchup leaned heavily in her favor. On the track, however, Henderson delivered a near-flawless execution. She stayed composed through the drive phase, maintained form under pressure, and crucially denied Thompson-Herah the space to unleash her usual gear change. The result, 11.07 to 11.09. was a reminder that even Olympic champions are vulnerable when timing, rhythm, or sharpness are slightly off. Henderson's win was not about raw superiority, but about precision and belief. A similar theme appeared in Eugene, but at a much higher collective level. At the Prefontaine Classic, Melissa Jefferson-Wooden faced a field stacked with elite talent. Olympic champion Julien Alfred, world star Sha'Carri Richardson, Jamaica's rising force Tina Clayton, and experienced contenders like Marie-Josée Tallou-Smith. Unlike the Henderson-Thompson race, this was not a single upset, but a high-speed duel between athletes at the peak of their powers. Jefferson-Wooden's victory was built on courage and resilience. She exploded from the blocks, resisted Alfred's devastating mid-race surge, and then did something rare in the 100 meters. She came back at an Olympic champion in the final meters. Winning in 10.75 into a headwind, she demonstrated not only speed, but exceptional competitive instinct. Alfred's 10.77 showed she remains a dominant force, while Richardson's struggles highlighted how fragile form can be after injury interruptions. When comparing the two races, the contrast is striking. Henderson's win symbolized opportunity, proof that a perfectly executed race can overturn hierarchy. Jefferson-Wooden's win, by contrast, signaled authority. She did not surprise the field. She confronted it head-on and prevailed. Together, these performances underline a new era in women's sprinting. Dominance is no longer guaranteed, depth has never been greater, and every final is a test of execution under pressure. In today's 100 meters, reputation sets the stage, but performance decides everything.